Hi, today I'm gonna show you how to knit this beautiful Christmas sweater, part 1. Let's get started. Okay, first of all, please check my description box for all the detail. I put the link below and you might want to go there and download my pattern because I include pretty much everything, how to make a plan and math and a chart, all that. So if you don't have that written pattern, you might not be able to knit this project. Okay? And if you ever watch my video and knitted my project, you know I don't follow somebody else's pattern. I measure myself, I make a plan, do the little math, and then make my own pattern. And you have to do it too. But don't worry, it's easy. As long as you follow my instruction, you should be able to make your own pattern. And why I do that? Because everybody have different body shape and preference, right? So, why you make your own, right? And, if you actually learn, you can actually knit anything you want. I give you an example. I knitted this blue, long sleeve t-shirt like sweater. I want it very fit. So, can I show you my sleeve? It's so skinny, and straight down. But compared to my Christmas sweater, this is quite chunky and buggy. So look at this, size difference. But for myself, because I want it this way this time. For this sweater's concept is relaxed, buggy, cozy, lazy, right? So you can change any way you want, okay? Christmas time, you eat a little bit too much, but nobody knows because the sweater covers everything. It's really up to you, okay? By the way, I'm 5'2", 100 pound, usually wear size small. But this is in between medium and large, but the sleeve is probably size small. You know what I'm saying? You have to customize your, plan. All right? So now let's talk about how to measure yourself and pick the right number you want. And you got to do your math. But again, I include this math part. So don't worry about it. Okay? This is top down sweater. So I'm going to start with top part, which is neck. Okay? My actual neck size is 12-inch, quite small, but I want to make it a little bit bigger. So I picked 24 inches because I'm going to use the 1x1 ribbon, also one size smaller needle. So it's going to shrink a bit, right? So I have to think about that type of a thing. So my desired neck opening is 24 inches. Okay, that's how you decide. And next, I want you to measure the height of your desired yoke, which means from bottom of your neck rib until where you want to separate your sleeve and body. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to knit everything included, both arm and body, until where you want to separate the sleeve. Okay? So my desired yoke height length is 12 inches. Okay? My regular sweater, okay, yoke length is actually 7 to 8. This is regular sizing for size small, but this time for my Christmas sweater, 12 inches, which is 4-inch lower than my regular sweater. You know what I'm saying? If I want to stop as, regular sweater, you can do that, you know. There you go. I guess right after the third, design, I have to, stop and separate the sleeve. But I'm not going to do that. I actually keep knitting and make it longer and try to knit the oversize. So this is up to you, okay? And now I want you to actually measure widest part, including both arms, okay? Because the yoke, you have to knit for everything, right? So for arm, wrap around your, the arm, and you have to actually pick your desire, okay, length. My, arm itself is quite thinner, right? But I pick 15, and then the body part, I pick 36. So total of the widest part is 66 inches. Okay? And why I picked that number? Because now I have to figure it out. How many rows I have to knit and how many stitches I have to increase before I finish the yoke. Okay? So let's talk about the gauge. Okay. Everybody has to knit your swatch, and you have to know your knitting tension with the yarn and needle you're going to use, obviously. And you have to knit at least 4-inch by 4-inch. And I want you to count stitch count across and then stitch count in height. That's row. Okay? So you have to make sure the stitch count and rows. And my gauge is 4-inch by 4-inch, 20 stitches by 24 rows. Based on this number, you will do your math. And if you can't do your math by yourself, I'll help you. However, you have to do your part. Knit your swatch, measure yourself, and make a plan. Then let me know in the comment section below. Okay? Sometimes you try to contact Facebook and all that, but I don't open my Facebook and Instagram all the time. So the comment section below. All right? So let's move on to math part. Okay, so I open up my math gauge template. All right. And if you don't have this template, unfortunately, you have to do your math by yourself. However, I include everything in my written pattern. So just follow my instruction. And the people who has this, template, it's good. However, you still have to do a little bit of math by yourself. But again, you read my written pattern. Okay, so you don't have to worry about anything. So let's find out the cast on number and everything. Okay, so your swatch information, you put the number in the red section. And so I am going to do that. My swatch information is 4-inch by 4-inch. If you're using 10 centimeter, fine. You just put 10 and 10. And my the gauge is 20 stitch count and 24 rows within 4-inch by 4-inch. Okay, so now find out the cast on number. Again, this is top down sweater, so starting with my neck. And the top section, it says find out stitch count from the length. I know the length and I want to find out the cast on number, which is my neck And again, my actual neck is 12 inches, but I picked 24 inches. Okay, so I'm gonna put the 24 inches here in the yellow section. So let's go see yellow section, 120. Okay, and this number has to be multiple of 12. Okay, 120 is multiple of 12, easy. But if your number is, other than 120, sometimes, you don't know that's multiple of 12 or not. Then let's go down. Right here, pink section, it says multiple of, and you put the number here, 12. Then you look for the number, okay? So 120 is right here. So, okay, this is the multiple of 12. You know what I'm saying? So if your number was 105, example, okay, definitely it's not a multiple of 12. So you have to look for the number close to 105, which is 108, or 112, 120, whichever you want to pick, okay? So this is good, right? And let's go back. And now I measured the height of the yoke, right? Remember, for me, 12 inches. So let's find out this time rows, right? So right here, the second from top, it says find out row count from the length. Okay, height is rows. So I'm going to put the number 12 here in orange section. And let's go see orange section here, 72. Which means if I want to reach 12 inches, you have to knit 72 rows. That's what this means. You know what I'm saying? So, another word, 72nd rows would be the last row for my yoke. Okay? So, now I have to find out the widest part. Okay? And my widest part was 2 arms, 15 inches, total of 30 inch. And the body was 36, quite buggy. So 36 plus 30 is 66. So again, stitch count, right? So I'm going to put 66 in yellow section and look, 330. What this mean? Okay, I'm gonna start knitting with 120 cast on and slowly, evenly, I am going to increase stitches. And at the end of the row, which is 72nd, I should have 330 stitches total. Okay, then separate the sleeves from the yoke. Okay, that's what I just did, did the math. Okay, so I think this is it to use this tool. So let's go back to the word section and let me explain this again, all right? Okay, so I open up my written instruction and let me explain what I just did manually, okay? So number one, knit your swatch and take a gauge. We already talked about it, and this is my gauge, 4 inch by 4 inch, 20 stitches by 24 rows. And number two, measure your desired neck, right? And you remember my desired neck opening is 24 inches. And let's, go to the math part. So this is just a simple ratio math. So here's the thing. So 4 inches, this is actually coming from the swatch, okay? Versus 24 inches. What is this means? Means, my desired neck opening number. equal 20 stitches. Okay, I have a 20 stitches width and 4 inch, right? So what about X stitches width and 24? That's how you think. Okay, I have a 20 stitches in 4 inch. What about, how many stitches in 24 inch? Super easy. Okay, so the ratio math is actually quite simple. Multiply of these inside two number has to be, okay, same number as multiply of outside number. So X stitches equal 24 times 20 divided by 4, 120. And this is multiple of 12. So my cast on number is 120. That's it. Okay. And next, your desired height of the yoke. Okay. My desired height is 12 inches. And now you have to be careful. Okay. I'm now talking about rows, not stitch count. So you have to use row count, which is here, 24 rows, width and 4 inch. Okay. Not stitch count this time. So the math is like this: 4 inch versus 12 inch equal 24 rows and X rows. So X rows equal 12 inches times 24. This inside number divided by 4 is 72 rows. Okay, so, and the widest part, you do exactly same, math using the stitch count. And my answer is 330. Okay? And 330 minus 120, widest part minus, the neck cast on, which is 210 for me, which is the total increase in stitch count. So starting with the 120 and increase little by little, and then you increase 210 at the end of the yoke. That's what I just actually explained with my gauge template. Okay, and from now on, everything is new. So you have to do your math from now on by yourself. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, now I want you to puzzle. Customize your sweater. Again, everybody has different shape, plan, and everything. So you have to customize now. Okay, and these are the design I used. Okay, example. Design A, 12 stitches and 10 rows. This means I have to repeat 12 stitches pattern and 10 rows to finish. Okay, and let's see my sweater here. Okay, this is where end of the yoke. So I put 5 design from A to E into my yoke. Okay, this is how you think. Okay, I have 72 rows to finish my yoke. And let's go back. A to E. The total rows of these 5 designs would be 53. So easily I can fit those 5 into my yoke, right? 72, my row count for yoke, minus 53, those total rows, equal 19. Do you remember 19? Okay, please remember. And now I have 6 location to increase. The first, right underneath of the neck rib, and each design in between designs, and lastly at the end of the last design. Okay, so 19 rows divided by 6 is 3. So I am going to add 3 rows right after the neck rib, also right after the yoke, that last, design, also in between designs. That'll be 72 rows total. So you have to customize this because depend on your sizes, right? If you're needing much smaller, sweater, I don't think you can put the 5 designs. And you have to have some rows in between designs to increase stitches. Again, increase stitches evenly, stitch-wise and row-wise. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want you to do. Okay? And let's go down. In this section, I just actually wrote everything down, what I just explained, like here, 72 minus 53, 19 rows, and here's the location that I can increase, and 19 rows divided by 6 is 3 rows. So I'm going to add 3 rows after the neck rib and, in between, the designs and all that. Okay? And then number 7, I said 210 stitches that divide by 6 is 35 stitches. 210 is the total increasing for me. Do you remember starting with my neck rib 120 and end with the 330? And 330 minus 120 is 210 divided by 6. Why 6? This is the reason. 6 locations. So depend on your plan. If you can only add 3 design, you only have 4 location to increase. So your total increase divided by the location that you can add stitches. You know what I'm saying? So 210 divided by 6 is 35, which means you have to increase at least 35 stitches in that, those locations. However, you have to think, okay? The Fair Isle design, you have to have certain stitch count, okay? So, it can be 35 all the time. So it has to be close, okay? So increasing number 1, which is right after the neck rib, okay? I'm going to show you how to do, okay? So 120 is already multiple of 12. And if I add the number multiple of 12, obviously total should be multiple of 12. So that's why I add 36 instead of 35. 120 plus 36 is 156. 156 is multiple of 12. That's the first step you have to do. And next, okay, 120 divided by 36 is 3.33333. So if I increase 1 stitch, okay, every 3 stitches, which means I can actually increase 40 stitches. You know what I'm saying? 120 divided by 36 is 3.333. So if I increase 1 stitch every 3 stitch, okay, you will ended up increasing 40 stitches. But I want to increase 36. So you can adjust the number here and there. Or this is what I did. 120 divided by 30 is 4. Okay? I increase 30 stitch, which means you increase 1 stitch every 4 stitch. So knit, 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 and then increase 1. Okay? But you only, increase 30. So next row, I have 3 rows to increase, right? In between. So next row, I will increase the rest 6 stitches. I already have 150 after I increase 30. So 160 divided by 6 is 25. So I increase 1 stitch every 25 stitches on increasing row number 3. That's it. Either way, okay? The current stitch count divided by the stitch count you want to increase. And there you go. 100, again, 120 divided by 36 is 3.333. So I increase 1 stitch every 3. However, you will ended up increase 4 extra. So you have to skip, increasing 4 times somewhere evenly. That's it. Okay? So, and the increasing number 2, same thing, 36, because the ABC design would be multiple of 12. So it has to be multiple of 12. And I actually write it down what I did. This time I just actually divided by 36. 156 divided by 36 is 4.333. Okay. And if I increase, 1 stitch every 4, I would ended up, increase 39 stitches instead of 36, which means I have to, skip 3 times somewhere to adjust. Don't think too much. If you decide you want to increase 36, just increase 36. Okay? Don't think too much. But again, I want you to increase evenly, stitch-wise too. That's why I'm showing this. Okay? And number 3, increase in number 3, same thing. And increase in number 4, 32 stitches increase. Because, okay, design T is actually multiple of 10. That's why. So, I pick close to 35 because the first 3, I add 1 extra each design. So, fine. I don't have to be perfect. So, I had 228 plus 32 is 260. This is multiple of 10. And yada, yada, yada. And increasing number 5, 40 stitches instead of 35, fine. And lastly, at the end of the yoke, I add 30 stitches because I want to make it 330. There you go. That's how you make a plan. And after this, it's not even, the math. So I can actually talk about it when I'm knitting. Okay. So if you make a plan until end of the yoke, including the increasing part, after this, just start knitting. Okay. So this is my end of part 1 video. And if you have a question, if you need my help, leave the comment below, okay? And if you want me to find out your, cast on number and all that, please do your part. Knitting your swatch, count and measure, and at least make a plan. Then let me know. Okay? So see you in part 2 video. Part 2 would be just knitting part. Okay? Bye for now.